Me and Brian thought about an idea that's not fully polished and needs to be thrown maybe a PowerPoint presentation, but I'm doing the initial stage of talking. I've been noticing a lot of gangs have been beefing a lot in Vinewood area, right? In the Vagina Act. We've been going hard on them. But what if there's
this one?
Yes. What if there's a better way to handle it if the violence continue to happen? For example, let's just use Rust, right?
Right.
After going hard on them and enacting the Rust Act, they still have not felt the impact of everything.
No, they haven't.
What if we actually moved Rust, for example? Let's just use it for example. After
project slang.
Okay. So
3 buildings.
Okay.
Down on the south side.
Right.
Broken down, waiting to be moved in. You know, some might think some of these gangbangers, maybe there's a little bit of sympathy there. Barely any room to move, so they move into Vinewood. Like the Saints, PG-18. There's a new gang over in the Pink Cave.
All those assholes, yeah. VFT.
Ghosts. They're called ghosts.
Whatever those assholes,
and
right?
they want to shoot.
I'm not hearing about any of this.
They pop out and then they
just
die.
Cooked it up. Oh, what? What's happening in Vinewood?
No, the gangs.
Oh, yeah. Saints and VFT have been fighting for a long time. This is really late shift, too. Like an hour before Tsunami, it happens often.
Think about this, Lang. Why do gangs pop up in Vinewood? Well, the reason is ain't no territory
There's
left.
no room.
There's no room
in the south. No.
So we're thinking, what if we made room for them to go to the south side, right? And then we use these new laws with Aegis, and the police being the protection of Aegis. Aegis will be the bureaucrats that come in there and they do the paperwork and push for the legislation to move these people if they commit any violent crimes within populated areas or of Vinewood. And then we have room and housing for them ready, built up by somebody who's willing to sponsor the project, to where we can move them there. And if they want to kill each other, at least contain the south side, and we can find a better way to, make sure other civilians do not get involved. Because a lot of times when they have shootouts in Vinewood, other innocent civilians are getting shot at.
I mean, I like the idea, but how would you contain that?
Well,
You know what
so
I mean?
imagine 3 separate projects, right? You got one off by the oil fields, bunch of old abandoned buildings there. There's another set of buildings over, one central, one east, one west. Now, some gangs might be around in the earlier part of the day, some in the later part of the day. But ultimately, there's enough room in those projects that when a gang like the Saints get moved down there and they need territory, well, they're going to have to crack into a piece of what's already existing, thus containing all the gang wars down south of the Olympic.
Basically, we're making them fight an infinite loop, but we're keeping it contained.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. It's evil, but it's necessary.
It's necessary here to move all these gangs out of Vinewood, because I'm tired of seeing the sprays. I'm tired of seeing a lot of shootouts. There's a lot of innocent people getting shot. It's scary. It's more scary in Vinewood than it is in the south side. I'm not sure how we got there.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. That's news to me, honestly.
So we need somebody who's got a lot of money and has the power of construction to build something. I, as a commissioner, can provide the protection of the PD, and then me and Brian can work the Aegis with him and Eve to come up with the legislation to push for that. You come in.
Hey, you guys want to do all the legwork? I can put a stamp on it and get it done. No problem.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah.
All
Well,
right.
so I spoke to Andy about it yesterday. She's very interested as well.
She's interested in which, the whole thing?
Construction bit, yes.
Oh, for the construction bit. Gotcha.
So what we're thinking is we come up with a PowerPoint presentation outlining the objective, the goals, and the locations, and saying where they should be built. We present it to y'all as a PowerPoint presentation, and then if you like it and you have any feedback, then we change it. If you're good with it, we go forward with the plan.
No more Vinewood, but we go back to Vinewood.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. And so how would you then move these people?
If they commit violent crimes, so gang-related shooting, they're shooting other people.
But walk me through the actual process, right?
Asset
Let's say
forfeiture. So Saints, right? The situation with them popped up about 48 hours ago. They've been at war with VFT for a while. I got a call over dispatch. Dan says, all right, a bunch of people tagged up, standing on rooftops with guns. And I'm like, what the f-? So we rolled through there, and one of them comes up to me and starts doing the whole, what are you doing over here? What do you need? So I step out of the vehicle, and I said,
PC's
I'll show
dying.
you what a real G check looks like, and that's when someone with a better head on their shoulders kind of calmed their pit bull down.
Jesus.
I ended up back in Mission Row, took a look at what properties they own, with very simply, if they are flagrantly, blatantly tagged up, tagging up things, making themselves look like they're the South Side, well, we're going to file for an asset forfeiture on each and every one of those properties. Therefore, it would go back to the state. And that would continue until and if they move.
Right, this wouldn't be something. They would have to commit crimes and violent and show a pattern for us to do so. It's not something, hey, get the hell out of here, right? Because legality, we can't do that to them. But if they commit crimes...
I got sent that by a Saints member, and he said, this is our turf.
They own a lot of property. They own Bean Manor. They own, like, a bunch of property where I think Just Us used to live. And they just got a new... Oh, yeah, you told me about this, Eve, right? The auction?
Yeah, they got the auction, which I think they bought with a state grant.
Oh, yeah, we should talk about that, actually. Have you brought that up already, Eve?
I brought it up to Brian.
What are state grants? What does that mean? Is it like a government loan, basically, or credit?
Yeah, so basically, you as a business put in for a state grant.
You can say the by me, just so you guys know.
So as soon as that gets approved, we denied Adam Prince's state grant last term, actually, because he wanted money for the house that they live in.
Holy shit, in the way they're taking all this.
We essentially said, no, they don't need
that's
money
the police
for
department.
their gang account.
So they should probably move it up here
this
a little
term,
bit.
he applied for his 2 businesses. And then DJ Cooper let me know yesterday that Adam Prince won the silent auction for Caesar Way 1, which is literally across the house that they live in right now.
Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
However, the state grant, the mayor's offer right now, they have a question that says, do you allow us, the mayor's office, to go through your bank transactions? So there is a way for us to go and look at it to see if they use that money to purchase that property from the state.
Okay. All right.
In regards to the Saints, I will say that they are significantly more approachable. They've stopped all activities pending a conversation on Friday. They've seen the around and find out.
Oh yeah, everybody's seen what happened to Rush. Okay, everybody's seen what happened to Rush, and it's actually making waves. They're resorting to Twaddle now instead of gang wars.
Yep.
I think the beauty of projects is even the knowledge. I mean, imagine good marketing around these projects, and us telling people this is what's going to happen. That even the fear itself, I think, is going to slow down some of these gangs that are popping up. I mean, the Pink Cage has only been vacant for 2 weeks, and there's another gang. People should not feel comfortable starting up a new gang.
1,000%.
And even if we crush one, another one's going to pop up.
Especially in Vinewood.
I agree.
I want to make it out of Southside. I get that, but start there.
All right. I mean, listen, put it on a document and let's work on it. I
wanted a PowerPoint presentation to kind of just, even with like maybe...
PowerPoint's even better, honestly.
I want to do a PowerPoint with a video using a drone to show the locations as well. Something like that would be pretty cool.
I mean, listen, the harder you want to go, to make it easier for me to look at, the better.
All right.
So the final thing we're going to throw on the table here is I'm sure some of the properties off of Forum Drive, Rose Street, etc. might be vacant. If we were to pick up the keys, or maybe they land in the hands of the Saints or whatever.
What? Repeat that again?
Well, I'm just saying there might be some...
Ryan's trying to do some CIA right here.
Well, I'm just saying there might be some vacant properties off of Forum Drive, off these other... I mean, sometimes you got to seed the violence.
Yeah. No, I see. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if an anonymous owner bought those properties and then those keys happen to happen in the wrong places. Sometimes it happens. I don't know.
Listen, we also need to start outlining and kind of building the infrastructure for the in and out of the island. exporting, importing of the island. Anything foreign in between all that.
Yeah.
Because right now we have no control over any of that, right? I mean, we do, but we need to start like enacting that control, I think.
Only if you
The problem is that
only if Buddha knows.
so first off, it seems to me like the island, the weather calms down more than just Friday. I could be wrong. That's my understanding, though. And even that entire, let's say, 24/7, or sorry, that 24-hour period on Friday, we don't have a good way to even know. Like, I mean, it's like searching for the. Never mind. Actually, that's too soon.
Yeah, but
So how do you want to
think about it? We're like Wakanda, right? Like the world knows we exist now. You know what I mean? God knows other islands we might make, communicate with and
right.
want to do trade with or whatnot. And I feel like we need to be prepared for that.
How would we? So the issue is like, how do we know someone is fishing or someone has crossed the fray?
I mean, you pull them over, right?
We have no legislation for that. Illegal detention.
Okay, so
No, I'm pretty
these
sure
are the
we
things we got to start outlining.
I thought we had a
It's
legislation.
literally that. It
Yeah,
says
so-
if you don't have an exit visa and you are coming from the island, they can be searched.
No. So I'll give an example, right? Imagine I have a fishing boat and I'm in the water all off of the docks. How do we know that I was always there or whether I came from the island?
That is a good question. Actually,
that's like the
what I proposed,
main
though.
issue.
So what I proposed to
Yeah, I
solve
see
that
what
issue.
you're saying.
So if you're in the bodies of the water to the southeast of the aircraft carrier, that is considered Los Santos water.
yeah, we would
And-
have to build borders,
Right.
border lines. Actually,
I think
yeah.
you need to have to make an announcement from the DOJ or the Senate saying these are the borders, and if you cross them, then you're considered on San Quinn. If you come back over here, then you're Los Santos and you're subject to search before entering Los Santos, the city. But I do think that those laws only apply in the water, not when you hit land. So if, let's say, we don't find this person and then we see their boat beach on the island or somewhere nearby in Los Santos, then Los Santos laws or common laws apply to them. But if in the water, then the Border Act laws apply to them. I don't know if that's complicated or not.
I mean, I don't think we have a choice. It has to be complicated, right? I mean, think about it. I think about all the situations that's been going on. Even when some of them
Wait a minute.
being involved,
I just
right?
realized something. We cannot be in here.
Why? I already boxed out the place.
You did what?
Oh, yeah, I'm sweeping it right now. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing found. We're good. Hey, you want this? Here, take this, Brian. You're paranoid.
I need more of these, by the way. Got any?
Yeah, we can talk about that as well. Coming, from Aegis soon. Tons of, brand new equipment for the PD to use.
Oh shit! All right.
One thing I was talking to Moosebeard about, I don't know if
What are you
'cause
giving?
I put T's and T's, running the custom task force from the aircraft carrier, was getting I don't know, Baas, if you can help with this, but you know how there's the Rangers do
Search and rescue?
they do temporary licenses for fishing and hunting.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can do temporary visas that way. So it's an actual document that we can give out to people, especially on Fridays.
Yeah,
Listen,
I mean,
we can do whatever we want. We just have to build an infrastructure that makes sense and that can be implemented.
I like what Eve is saying. They get a visa, it expires after X amount of days, you have to renew it, but it shows on your MEW tag as like a license on there, right? And then that way an office could do a background check when you come back to the customs. If you don't have a visa, you're fucked. You're going to be placed under arrest for illegally trying to enter Los Santos. And then you're subject to
Especially
arrest.
people.
I just think it's something that can't be solved right now, like in one conversation. It's something that we have to think through. I'm gonna be straight up. You
Yeah.
guys have to think through. And I mean,
Brian
Brian's
is
really
Lang's
good at this kind
best
of
friend
shit
right
because,
now.
Like I said, you never know what the future
Bass
holds.
is definitely jealous.
And right now it's a shit show.
Gonna erupt.
That's okay, though.
I could grab Bass, right? Bring him to the island, kill him there. But like, can I get charged for that?
No.
No.
No. Yes.
You know what I
You
mean?
get
Wait,
charged
what?
kidnapping from Los Santos.
Yeah.
You don't get charged murder. I mean, you could...
Exactly.
Given
right?
the
Like,
crime began here, yes, it would be murder.
okay, so what if Bass came to the island? I invited him. He came willingly, and then I killed his ass.
You would be like, well,
then you gotta
Technically,
whip it.
that's human trafficking.
No, not really, because
It would, because you're bringing someone somewhere under false pretenses.
what if I had to change your mind?
What if he went there, and I so happened to be there and I killed him?
Oh yeah, nothing.
Yeah, we got to start figuring those things out, right? I don't want to get too sidetracked, but this point being is we need to start thinking about these things and somehow building that out, and it has to be done through ages. That way, nobody can question it.
Right. I mean, there has to be a government entity that overlooks this, right? Or else people will bitch and moan all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'll work on the construction stuff, the PowerPoint presentation, and how Brian can I just, I'll show him what I got.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't all have to be done right away as well. Like, we can just start working through, but it's just good things to be aware of.
Yeah. I mean, long-term stuff, right?
The thing that needs to change is the fishing law, and we're probably gonna need Tesla for that. In other states, if you're in the water, right now we have to. We need to change legislation so that if you're in the water or if you're on the air beyond a certain point, we have the right to ID you with papers. Without that, nothing will work.
Yeah, agreed. Because a lot of people will slip through the crack no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, people slipping through the crack is granted. It's going to happen as long as we have the overall control of what's happening, right?
Right. The goal is to minimize that, right? Because you can't stop all importing, exporting illegally that's happened to Los Santos, but you can try to minimize the damages.
Control it, yeah.
All right. Well, good talk.